Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the Hopkinton High School Athletics Center. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers JV Boys Basketball as they are set to take on the Westwood Wolverines. Tom Nappy alongside Mike Terosian on the call. And Westwood will start off with possession, working right to left across your screen in their away green jerseys. And we are underway in this first quarter. With possession in the corner, that's Garvin. Sean Garvin out there, Quinn O'Brien. You got Patrick Cassavant in the starting fold. Also Thomas Stapleton. Driving in, loose ball picked up by Garvin at the buzzer. Shot waved off, it will not count. And also in the starting mix for Westwood, Dylan Robertson. Hillers with possession. Zach Hyman with the entry to Wyatt Stevens. And we'll get you the rest of the starters in just a moment as there's a three attempt. No good by Hyman. Westwood has it. Starting five for the Hillers. Zach Hyman, Wyatt Stevens, Braden Hicks, Cole Dessenroth, and Rowan Smith. Hillers led by head coach Chris Banks is driving in, and no good there is Sean Garvin. Hillers ball. Westwood led by head coach Keon Armstrong. There's a three from Wyatt Stevens. No good. Batted out by Smith. Driving in Hyman. He'll kick it over to the wing to Hicks, and now up top to Stevens. Driving in. No good. Off the rim it goes into the hands of Quinn O'Brien. We have the Hillers JV game, and we'll have the varsity game. We have the video stream of the freshman game as well. Hopkinton getting the win in that game. Put back by Robertson, no good, and a rebound by Dessenroth. Hillers girls over in Westwood today, as laying that one in is Braden Hicks for the first score of the game. The entry was Quinn O'Brien to Sean Garvin. He'll air it out to a wide open Cassavant, up and in, plus the foul. Not much you could do there. And they'll get Cole Dessenroth with his first. It'll be an and-one opportunity for the sophomore, Patrick Cassavant. No good off the front of the rim. Rebound Quinn O'Brien for Westwood. Surrounded by defenders, able to get it over to Garvin, and then it is knocked out. Hillers ball. Wyatt Stevens regathers and has some fancy handles there as he drives in and draws contact.
I'll tell you some great moves from that Stevens. He gets his athleticism from his mother, Michelle, who was a great athlete here back in the 80s for the Hillers. Field hockey. Field hockey star.
Get Dylan Robertson with the Westwood foul. Runs in the family then.
Sure does.
Cantera gives it up over to the wing to Hyman. Now to the corner, up for three. No good there is Dessenroth. And did the ball go out? Yes, it did. So there was a little dribble there by Dylan Robertson, but he dribbled out of bounds. Hillers ball. And I believe we're going to be celebrating senior night for the varsity game as well, Mike.
Yeah, I see some jerseys up here on this wall, and when we get down the other end, I'll try to get the photos. They always get the. It's always nice when they put up the photos.
Hyman gets it into Dessenroth, kicks it out to Pantera. Good ball distribution.
Yeah.
Dessenroth, no good.
That's some nice speed on the passing.
It certainly was, and we have a grab on the rebound, it looks like. They're going to get Dessenroth with his second, so he'll have to be careful. About 3 minutes into action, a 2-2 game here in this JV battle.
And 5 seconds.
Took too long, yep.
Yeah. And throw it away to no one. He just wanted to get rid of it.
Sometimes that's what you got to do, right?
That's it. So, Tom, we got we got a couple more. We got one more game tonight. Hockey tomorrow. Westwood again, right?
That's right. Hillers Westwood tomorrow at the New England Sports Center. 1:40 p.m. face-off. Stevens driving in, and that was blocked. Good block there by Stapleton. Here goes Stapleton to the bucket. No. And it's a rebound by Hyman. Feeds it over. Pantera feeds the bucket. 4-2 Hillers lead.
Some nice pressure there.
Yeah. Will be a Westwood inbound. Quinn O'Brien on the entry. Good feed in the interior, off the window and in goes Stapleton. Taking it up for the Hillers, Hyman. He'll give it up. Over to Hicks. Driving in. Feeds Pantera. Along the baseline, and it's a no-go there. Quinn O'Brien comes up the court, and he lost it. Hicks trying to take it back, and we have a stoppage here.
Hey, take a second out to say hello to all our Westwood fans watching over there in Westwood Cable Access, passing off all the information. And parents can't come to the games, so we're able to feed it out to them.
Yeah, it's certainly good to have a lot of community access stations throughout the TVL, sharing the information and helping everyone make sure people know where to find the game.
Yeah. And it makes it nice, too, because it now gives us a chance to see the away games, and because our parents can't go there, and some teams don't allow parents no matter what, either home or away.
Right. As we get a double dribble on Quinn O'Brien, Hiller's ball. And right now, over on Westwood Cable, you can catch the girls' game. Driving in is Stevens, but we have a foul. Shot waved off. We got Quinn O'Brien with his first, team second for Westwood. Ryan Hicks on the entry, fresh into the game. Puts it over to Carson. Back to Hicks. And he lost it. And pass to Stapleton now, driving to the bucket. It is Garvin. Great hustle by Carson for the block.
It's nice play like that, especially when you don't hear a whistle afterwards.
Absolutely. It was a clean block
yeah,
there.
Nice block.
Looks like Jay Golden might be coaching tonight.
Yeah, Jay's, I think, filling in tonight.
Yeah, he's typically with the varsity team, but of course, limited coaching staff this year as Quinn O'Brien draws contact.
Yeah, he was here for the first game, of course, with the freshman team. And of course, he was assisted by Coach Scotty Mackin. It was nice seeing him on the sidelines.
Kyle Bertucci-Bisson at the guilty party there. First of two. No good.
Even the coaches have to substitute once in a while.
Absolutely.
What a great coaching staff we have here, too.
Certainly is. And the second one is good. Westwood back on top, 5-4. Here comes Seamus Murphy, surrounded by defenders. It's stolen away by Garvin. Gets it up over to Cassavant. And then it's stripped away and knocked out of play by Hicks.
I think Hicks just saved 2 points right there.
Yeah, good hustle by this JV squad.
I like the speed of their passing. They they get some good speed here, passing that ball around. It almost like you're watching the varsity team, and you know how that 1 year makes a difference on an athlete.
Oh, absolutely. Cassavant gets it inside. Kick out to the corner to Garvin. And now it's stolen away. Here comes Hicks. Hicks lost it, gathers it back up, and it's knocked out of his hand. And let's see who they call it out on. That was the right call there.
Yep.
Stapleton getting the last touch. Ryan Hicks on the entry. Tucci Bissonette gets it back to Hicks. Over to Pantera. And what do we have here? Looks like a foul.
On the floor? Yeah.
It is indeed. They get Patrick Cassavant with the grab. Braden Hicks on the entry. Feeds it over to Carson. Along the baseline, up, no good. Westwood a rebound. Callahan pulls it down. Stapleton with possession. Over to Garvin. Up top now to Krumsick. And back to Stapleton.
So nice
and
defense.
some
Good tangled.
contact there, yeah.
Yeah, a little tangled up.
We're going to get Nate Carson with his first, team third. 3 fouls apiece. We'll make that a team fourth for the Hillers, excuse me.
And, of course, it takes a little longer when the ball goes away because they don't want anyone touching the ball, so the referees will go chase it.
Right.
You won't see players, you won't see fans going up to get the ball.
And Garvin on the corner. And did he step out? Looks like he did. It was knocked out of play, so it will remain in Westwood's possession. Stapleton calling it out. Up for the jumper, and no good is Cassavant. A Westwood rebound. Cassavant grabs his own rebound, drives in. Up for the lay, no good, and then it was swatted out of play. It'll be Hiller's ball. And we're going to get a push against Westwood. We'll get Cassavant with his second. Pretty physical game so far between these two teams.
Whoa!
Ooh, big
And I
hit
think
there by Hyman. He's hurt.
I think you called that right.
I hope he's okay. He slammed pretty hard into the floor. Good to see him back up.
That looked like a little clothesline action here. Have to see the replay.
He's back up and walking. Certainly a good sign.
Very good.
Hillers will...
Just as you said, a little physical game.
Yeah. I didn't mean to jinx it that way.
No. I mean, you could never. I mean, how can you do that? Well, being checked out by the trainer, so.
We don't want it too physical now.
No. I mean, it is a physical game. Full contact sport, you know.
LaRose driving in. No good there, but drew the foul. Contact from Luke Bodette. That's his first, team fifth for the Hillers. LaRose at the line.
Well, you know why Dr. Naismith created volleyball? This is because he wanted to get a less physical, less violent sport than basketball. It was pretty bad back then with the old peach baskets. Not that I was there. You know, not that old. Oh, yeah, go ahead, say it.
You are a grandfather.
I am a grandfather now, absolutely.
Congratulations,
Thank
by
you very
the way.
much.
And LaRose hits both of them, 7-4 Westwood.
That might make up the difference here in this game here if he's hitting those free throws.
Kick out over to Hicks.
Oh.
Stevens trying to feed it underneath. Out of play it goes.
Bullet of a pass.
Yep. A little too much mustard for Seamus Murphy to handle. Callahan on the entry. Full court pressure by the Hillers. Feed up to LaRose. Up for the shot. Got it.
And Hopkins timeout.
They'll draw a timeout call by Coach Golden. 1:07 left to go in the first quarter. Westwood up by 5. And don't forget, we have a whole lot of Hillers-Westwood coming your way. We will have hockey tomorrow, 1:40 p.m., boys varsity hockey. Then on Monday, the Westwood girls are right back here.
Girls are here, yes.
For a slate of basketball, freshmen at 3:30, JV at 5, varsity at 6:30. We'll have the video feed for those games, and we'll be at Hiller girls ice hockey as they take on Dedham at the New England Sports Center.
Yep, so all the games will be streaming, and we just won't have commentary. So, I don't know, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. All my friends tell me they watch the games with the volume down.
I know they'll miss you.
I don't know what that means. Yeah, they'll miss me. But I'll be at hockey with you.
That's right. So you can tune in to hockey to
and also
hear our wonderful voices.
Keep checking back at hkim.tv because as we all know with COVID, these things change every day.
Absolutely. We're hoping there's not too many more changes.
Oh, I know.
But you never know.
Because, the season's getting close to the end because they need to start fall, too.
Right. Yeah, we'll have Hiller football and girls volleyball soon.
And some unified basketball.
Right. LaRose kicks it out over to Stapleton.
Oh.
Little pump fake there. Callahan.
Looked like an extra step there.
I think he kept the foot planted. Smith on the quick break and takes some heavy contact.
Nice idea.
Yeah, he was trying to feed it over to Bodette. He slammed into that divider there.
Which is nice. It moves.
Right.
Unlike the other gyms that they're in, sometimes that's a wall.
It's a good thing in this case it's not.
Right. And normally, if this wasn't COVID, there'd be nothing there. And they'd run into either cheerleaders or a camera operator.
We've seen that quite frequently.
Sure.
15 seconds left to go. Shot clock is off. Swatted away. Backcourt violation.
Backcourt.
So the Hillers will have 9 seconds to work with to end this first quarter. Chance at a buzzer beater. Feeds it back to Stevens. 3 attempt by Bodette. No good, and that is going to do it for the first quarter. Rowan Smith couldn't get that shot off in time. After one quarter play, it is Hopkinton 4, Westwood 9. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers JV Boys Basketball on HCAM. And we are ready for the second quarter. With possession, it's Wyatt Stevens. Tosses it to the wing to Smith. Up for the shot, no good. Loose ball. And the play it goes. It went off of Westwood. Yeah, Hiller's inbound. Braden Hicks on the entry. Feeds it up to Pantera. Back to Hicks. Along the wing, Stevens up for three. No good off the front of the rim. Westwood has it. On the rebound was Krumsick. Pass up by LaRose over to Stapleton. LaRose. Stapleton feeds it over to Callahan. Trying to get it back, taken away by Pantera. Stevens takes it up, feeds it over to Hicks. Back to Stevens, up for three, got it. Wyatt Stevens, a sharpshooter there.
Was that Westwood timeout? Yeah, it has to be Westwood timeout, right?
Westwood timeout. Hiller's within two. Trying to work their way back in. And don't forget, we'll have the varsity game at about 6:30.
Yep, and they may start a little early, so to get the senior night underway. I don't know how they do it. Years past, we used to interrupt the warm-up and then do the senior, then finish warming up, and then go. Yeah, but we'll find out. We'll play it by ear. We're going to be here.
That's right.
Man, we're not going anywhere.
And you shouldn't either. What else are you going to do on a Friday night? Last time these two teams met, Hiller's JV defeated Westwood. Last time they met at home, 58-51. Hoping for a similar result this evening. 9-7 Westwood lead, about a minute into the second quarter. LaRose with possession. And we had a moving violation. I believe it was a double dribble.
If anything, that's what I would guess. It was hard to see with the screen. Look through my little monitor here.
Great feed to Stevens, and he lays it in. All right, Stevens with 5 points early in the second quarter. LaRose takes it up. I think that'll be the Hiller's strategy, get the ball to Stevens.
Yeah, looks like that's what it is now.
Pantera got wrapped up with Krumsick for the jump ball call.
And the arrow is Westwood's way.
A little confusion out there by both sides. It is Westwood's ball.
Yep.
Cassavant feeds it
I have
over.
to say we got a great crew on that table there, keeping all the fouls, keeping all the shot clock, and of course the possession arrow, which is very helpful for us.
Absolutely. Ready over to O'Brien, out of the corner, up for three. No good there is Cassavant. Ball batted around, and it ends up in the hands of a Wolverine. Up and in goes Quinn O'Brien. First bucket of the second quarter for the Wolverines. Wyatt Stevens trying to roll it to Pantera, and it's stolen away.
That's a trouble.
And travel by Westwood. Hiller's ball.
I think he was carrying a suitcase. Couple steps. So that's what I think. It was just a momentum thing. It wasn't a.
Yeah, he just kind of fell forward.
Yeah. It's either travel or land on your face.
Right. With possession, Destenroth feeds it up to Stevens, up for three. No good, a little wide that time. Rebound, Krumsick. Garvin with possession. And called for the travel. Move that back foot, trying to get by Stevens. comes Stevens. Feeds it over to Hyman. Driving in, up for the jumper, count it. This Hillers JV boys team, all sophomores except Sam Pantera, who's a freshman. Arvin over to O'Brien. Now to Preddy. Back to O'Brien. Up. Yes. Falls in.
That was a pretty layup.
But O'Brien with his second field goal of the second quarter for Westwood. Puts them back on top. The ball knocked out of the grasp of Stevens. Will be a Hillers inbound. Hillers outscoring Westwood in the second quarter, 7-4 so far. Stevens driving in, no good. The rebound Wolverines, Callahan pulls it down. Here comes Garvin. Up for three, no good off the back iron, rebound Preddy. Kicks it over to the short corner, up, no good there by O'Brien. Pantera grabs the rebound and we have a foul in the process. And they're going to get Will Krumsick with his first. Team fifth for Westwood. Both teams with 5 fouls apiece in this first half. Driving in is Murphy. Kicks it out to Hicks. Now over to the near side of Carson, trying to get it back to Hicks. And Callahan got a hand in there. Stevens on the inbound. Just behind the back dribble there. Now it's stolen away by O'Brien. O'Brien feeds it over. And Preddy trying to put it up. And it was knocked away. Do we have a foul? Yes, we do. You get Cole Dessenroth, or make that Wyatt Stevens with the contact. That's his first. Garvin. And some body contact there. You get Hicks with his first and a 1-and-1 for Sean Garvin. Westwood is in the bonus. On the front end, yes. Back end of a 1-and-1. That one will rattle out. Here comes the Hillers. Long pass to Murphy. Up and draws the foul. He's heading to the line for a pair. Thomas Preddy, the guilty party there. I actually got Sean Garvin with that one. First of two, no. Second of two for Seamus Murphy. Count it. A 2-point game in favor of Westwood. 3:18 and counting left to go. Feeds it over to Callahan. Long pass there, pulled down by O'Brien. And that went off the foot of Robertson back to O'Brien. That's some fancy stuff.
Yep.
Batted in the air. And to the bucket, no good is Garvin. Put back is no good. A secondary put back, and we have a travel. Garvin grabbed his own rebound, tried to put it back up, was contested by Smith, and took a step too extra. Braden Hicks feeds it out to the corner, up for three. Bissonette, no good. And knocked out of bounds. They call it out off of Callahan. Carson feeds it into Murphy. And he lost it. Here comes Garvin. He draws contact as he's coming up the floor. We'll have another 1-and-1. Seamus Murphy, the guilty party there. Sean Garvin 1 for 2 from the line so far tonight. Front end of the 1-and-1, no good. It is a Westwood rebound. Pass up top, up for three, and in. Thomas Stapleton. Westwood up by 5, and a misfire by Hicks to Bertucci Bissonette.
I'm going to capitalize on that. Let's not give it away.
Sean Callahan into Stapleton. Feeds it over the elbow, and now a nice drive up the lane, and in goes Cassavant.
Cassavant stuck right in there.
Stevens, pass up over to Smith, up for three, no good. Off the back iron it goes, collected by Garvin. Feeds it over to Callahan, back to Garvin. Now over to Stapleton. Callahan. Trying to get back to Callahan was Cassavant, stolen away. Long pass up court. The feed out, up, and a block there as Bertucci Bissonette went up for the lay-in. Cassavant feeds it in. Along the baseline, and no good is Robertson. Put back, yes.
Wow.
21-12, Westwood. Stevens feeds it over to Bissonette, now out to Smith, driving in, count it. Rowan Smith, the sophomore, laying that one in. Stapleton takes it up. And double dribble on Garvin, Hiller's ball. Hyman on the inbound to Stevens. Stevens, little misstep there and ended up getting wrapped up for the jump ball call. With Cassavant, it'll go in favor of Westwood. Callahan into Stapleton. Along the baseline, up and in. Dylan Robertson. And plus the foul, and one opportunity. We'll get Luke Bodette with his second. Dylan Robertson, a sophomore for Westwood. 4 points so far tonight. No good on the and one. Long pass by Wyatt Stevens to the bucket, and in goes Luke Bodette. Westwood trying to work quickly with 10 seconds left in the quarter along the baseline, and Garvin stepped out. Hillers will have it with exactly 10 seconds left to go in the first half. Entry to Carson. Here comes Hyman. Hands it back to Stevens. Back to Hyman. Takes the three. No good. And that is how the first half will end. After one half of play, it is Westwood 23, the Hopkinton Hillers 16. The second half coming up next on HCAM. And we are ready for the second half. A 23-16 Westwood lead. Hillers with some work to do to get back into this game. Let's take a look at the scoring totals from the first half. For Hopkinton, it was Zach Hyman with 2, Wyatt Stevens with 5. Hillers working right to left across your screen for this second half. Seamus Murphy with 1, Luke Bodette with 2, Braden Hicks with 2, Rowan Smith with 2, feet up top, and Sam Pantera with 2. And laying that one in is going to be Braden Hicks. And now a steal, and an attempted feed is stolen away. Desserant was trying to get that one over, but the Hillers respond right back with a turnover. Hicks for 3, no good. And a rebound by Dylan Robertson. Taking it up, Stapleton. Cassavant feeds it over. Now Quinn O'Brien driving down. Back out to Cassavant. O'Brien down the lane, up, and good. For Westwood in the first half, it was Will LaRose with 4, Thomas Stapleton with 5. A misfire there to Desseroth, just able to keep it in. Quinn O'Brien with 5, Dessenroth, no good. Sean Garvin with 1, Patrick Cassavant with 4, Dylan Robertson with 4. And a struggle for the ball here. We'll get a jump ball call. Braden Hicks getting wrapped up with O'Brien. Cassavan on the entry. Feeds it over to O'Brien. Back out to Stapleton. And Stapleton, as he drove down, there was an offensive foul. They get Dylan Robertson with body contact. Hiller's ball. Good defense there by Hopkinton. Westwood looking to get it in the interior. Hiller's not letting him. Hyman with possession. Back out to Wyatt Stevens. Nice pass over to Smith. Lost the ball. And out of play it goes. Westwood basketball. Good hustle by Hicks, but just couldn't get there in time. Cassavant. Over to Quinn O'Brien. Nice feed to the block, and as Robertson went up for the shot, he drew contact. We'll get Cole Desenroth with his third. Robertson on the first of two, no good. On the second of two. No good there. Battle for the ball. And Westwood comes up with it. Nice hustle by Garvin. Now a three attempt. No good by Stapleton. And we have an offensive foul in the process. They get Dylan Robertson with his third. So he'll come out of the game for a break. Hyman over to Hicks. Now to Stevens. For three. Little off the mark. Collected by Stapleton. Cassavant. He will stop, pop, and drop a three. No good. Put back is no good, but we have an offensive, or make that a defensive foul as Garvin was going up for the shot. You're going to get Rowan Smith with the contact. First of two for the sophomore. He knocks it down. It's 2 for 4 from the line, Sean Garvin. Second of two, count it. Stevens gets it over to Hicks. Now to the corner. Hyman for three. Got it. And that one knocked out of play. And it seems like the official is unsure whose ball it is.
We're going to have to discuss this.
Yep. It's a good hustle by Braden Hicks to get in front of that pass.
Coach Bliss is on the table saying it is Hopkins ball.
And we know Coach Bliss won't lie.
Nope.
Gets it over to Hyman. Hyman feeds it over to Hicks. Up top now to Hyman. And now Stevens for three. No good. And it's pulled down by Garvin. Here comes Westwood. Garvin Driving in, gets it out to O'Brien. O'Brien pump fakes, turns it around back to Garvin. Now underneath to Krumsick, and as Krumsick goes up, we have a foul. William Krumsick, the sophomore, heading the line for a pair. They get Braden Hicks with his second foul. First of two, got it. Now for the second of two. No good. But it is a Westwood rebound. Callahan collects. And now a steal by Braden Hicks. Quick break up the floor. Went off a defender to Carson. Now Hicks coming in from the corner. Up for the shot. Count it. Big time bucket there. Stapleton feeds it down over to Callahan. Along the baseline to O'Brien. Back to the top they go. Stapleton down the lane. Up. No good, but he drew contact. They get Hicks with the foul. First of two, no good. Second of two, no good there. Killers have it, collected by Hicks. Wyatt Stevens with possession. Feeds it over to Ryan Hicks. Got Braden and Ryan both in there. Ryan to Wyatt. And now over to Nate Carson. Back to Stevens. On the pick and roll.
Oh.
And body contact. They're going to get Will Krumsick with his second. Team third for Westwood. Hillers with 4 fouls in the half. Nate Carson on the entry. Feeds it over to Hyman. Up for three. No good. A little short putback. No. Batted out by Pantera, and Callahan collects. LaRose takes it up. And we have a foul. We're going to get Hyman with contact. And it's his first. Team fifth for the Hillers. Callahan into Stapleton. Back to Callahan. Now LaRose feeds it over to Krumsick. Stapleton driving in. No good. Off the rim it goes. Batted up. And kept in play, and that backfired as Krumsick collects and puts it in. It was a nice thought to keep it in play as we have a steal here. Here comes Quinn O'Brien. Coast to coast. Draws the foul. Well, it was nice thought by Ryan Hicks to keep it in, but he batted it right to Krumsick.
What I think he was trying to do was just bat it off his leg so it would go out on them, and he wound up catching the ball.
Right. Quinn O'Brien at the line for Westwood. He has 7, or make that 8 points so far tonight. It's the first. Second of 2. Count it. A 9-point Westwood lead. Hyman takes it down. Spins around, up for the shot. No. Pantera with the rebound, puts it up and draws contact. We'll get Krumsick with his third. Sam Pantera at the line for his first time tonight. First of two is good. Second of two. Got it. Garvin will take it up. Good feed. Up, no good, however, as Quinn O'Brien grabs his own rebound, kicks it out over to Garvin, up for three. Off the front of the rim it goes, and the Hillers have it. Pulled down by Dessenroth. Pass to the corner, Stevens for three, no good. And it's collected by Callahan. Taking it down, Garvin now, up against Wyatt Stevens. Garvin going to be called for the travel.
Wow.
Hyman takes it up. Over to Stevens. Up top now to Dessenroth. Hyman driving in, up, no good. And it's collected by Dessenroth. Up for the shot, and it's blocked. Pantera with the rebound, and as he goes up, it's waved off. It will be a Westwood foul. We'll get Sean Callahan with his first. Team fifth for Westwood. Stevens on the inbound. Up for three. Yes, knocks it down. Second three bucket of the third quarter for the Hillers. 4-point game. Less than a minute left to go here in the third. Garvin. Driving in, up, off the window and in.
You gotta shut that down.
Stevens takes it up. Feeds it over to Bodette. Now on top to Pantera. Driving down around the defender, up and in he goes. Nice finish there by Pantera. Shot clock is off with 16 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Garvin going to wait for the buzzer beater opportunity. Feeds it to the corner. Up for three is Callahan, and it looks like he drew a foul. With 1 second left. Last thing you want to do if you're the Hillers. And that is Cole Dessenroth's fourth foul. So Callahan at the line for three. First of three, no.
Definitely no way to end a quarter.
Certainly isn't. Hits the second. Now for the third. It'll rattle out. And that'll do it for the third quarter after 3 quarters of play. It's Hopkinton 30, Westwood 35. Fourth quarter coming up next on HCAM. And we are ready for the fourth quarter, a 35-30 Westwood lead. Still anyone's game. It's been a good battle out there as expected so far. Westwood with possession, working left to right across your screen.
Be a whole different story of a game if the Hopkins made half of the three-pointers that they shot.
Certainly would. They are struggling from the floor, but it's been very good defense by Westwood. Up and no good is Garvin. That one rattles out, and it's collected by Murphy.
Oh,
Is it over to
could have been
Stevens?
travel there.
Smith along the baseline will draw hard contact. And some good sportsmanship there between Smith.
There's some hot heads down there because I felt that here.
And Cassavant, yeah. Team 6 for Westwood. They got Will Krumsick with his fourth. First of two, got it. Rowan Smith with 3 points so far on the night. Chance to put the Hillers within 3 on this free throw. And he does. Garvin will take it up. Cassavant. Back to Garvin, launches the three, a little short. And nice effort by Callahan, but couldn't keep it in play. Wyatt Stevens into Hyman. And Hicks trying to air it out, knocked out of bounds off of Callahan. Stevens on the entry to Smith. Long two. Yes. Oh, and Smith starting to heat up. It's a 1-point game. Garvin. And it's stripped away by Hicks. Smith hands it over to Hyman. Now back to Stevens. Over to Rowan Smith. Rowan driving down, and it's waved off. Clear travel there. Westwood ball. Stapleton takes it up. Gets it over to Callahan. He gets wrapped up with Hicks for the jump ball. We'll go Hiller's way. Stevens on the entry to Hyman. Feeds it to Smith, up for three, no good. And it's collected by Robertson. Stapleton, a pass over to Cassavant. Along the baseline, and we have a foul.
Ooh.
We got Sam Pantera with his first. Team 8th for the Hillers. Cassavant on the first of two, no good. As of right now, a 4-0 quarter in favor of the Hillers.
Keep up that defense. Keep keep Westwood scoreless as long as possible.
Stevens airs it out to Hicks. Now to Hyman. Back to Stevens. Underneath to Pantera. Up, no good. Rebound Stapleton. Feeds it over to LaRose. Driving in. Around the defender. Up and in he goes.
Oh,
nice finish.
That was pretty.
Here comes Hyman. Spins around the defender. Off the window. No good. Put back. No good. Hyman with the rebound. There's Rowan Smith with the putback. Smith with possession now.
Charge.
And as he goes up, let's see what we have here.
Get him on the charge, maybe?
Yeah, they're going to get Westwood. They're going to get a Quinn O'Brien.
There you go.
It's his second. Team seventh for Westwood. Puts Smith at the line. It's a 1-and-1. And he hits the front end.
There you go.
Rowan Smith 3 for 3 from the strike.
Chance to make it a new game right here.
Make that 4 for 4. It's a 1-point game. Stapleton. Over to LaRose. It's Quinn O'Brien driving in, up from the block, no good. And it's collected by the Hillers. Braden Hicks is there. Hicks to the bucket, up, no. Rebound Pantera, put back, no, that'll fall out. And then there was a battle between Smith and Stapleton. And it went off of Stapleton and out of bounds. Last touch was the leg of Stapleton. Stevens on the entry. And as Dyson Roth went up, we have a foul. It's going to be on Dylan Robertson. That's his fourth. First of two. The front end of a 1-and-1 rather, but he hits. So now he'll have another. We're knotted up at 37 apiece. We're going to get a timeout called by Westwood. 4:38 left to go. They're going to try to throw Cole Desenroth off his game. But Desenroth on the back end of a 1-and-1, a chance to put the Hillers on top. And we've seen many momentum shifts in this game, but the Hillers starting to come alive in this fourth quarter.
I'm liking what I've seen on the offense. I'd love to see. I mean, they're the first ones there. They're getting all the rebounds, but they got to finish. The only way they're going to go to head is to be able to finish on those rebounds that they're getting.
Well, they're starting to heat up from the field.
Sure.
Which was one of their problems early on. And Westwood has not been hitting a whole lot from the field, but you could credit a lot of that to this very stingy defense that has been playing well guarding the interior. They are forcing Westwood to take a lot of threes, and it's paying off for the Hillers. Off the timeout. Cole Desenroth back to the line for the back end of a 1-and-1. Chance to give the Hillers a lead. No good. Rebound Pantera. To the bucket, around the defender, no good. Grabs his own rebound, puts it back, count it. Hillers on top. Here comes Stapleton. LaRose. Approaching the midway point of the fourth quarter. And the attempted pass over to Robertson, and as he tried to haul it in, we have a foul. It'll be against the Hillers. Grab on Robertson, he's at the line for a 1-and-1. Sam Pantera with his second foul. Robertson on the front end. No good. Rebound Pantera. Stevens takes it up. Drives the lane. Up. Count it. Wyatt Stevens. Makes it a 4-point game. Here comes Quinn O'Brien. And a moving violation, double dribble. Hillers ball. The momentum starting to shift. I'm in the Dessenroth, trying to get it over to Stevens, stolen away. Cassavan on a quick break, overthrows his intended target, O'Brien. A little too much mustard on that pass.
Got a white timeout coming up.
Coach Golden wants a timeout. 3:26 left to go. The Hillers leading Westwood 41-37. And what a turnaround it's been in this fourth quarter by Hopkinton. Westwood only with 2 points in the fourth quarter. That's the majority of their problems compared to Hopkinton's 11. But Rowan Smith has come up huge with 5 points in the quarter. Sam Pantera with a big layup. And Wyatt Stevens with a big field goal as well. And the Hillers looking for another W at home against Westwood. Still a ways to go, though.
Still a ways. That's way too much time to be talking about a win.
I said they're looking for.
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. you know what can talk for a win right now. It's just way too much time.
It certainly is. We've seen many momentum shifts in this game, that's for sure.
This is the best one since. I like this one a lot.
Absolutely. See if it continues. Here goes Nate Carson.
Ooh,
nearly backcourt. It's a good thing he kept that foot planted.
Yeah.
Stevens, it's popped out of Stevens' grasp, able to get it back. He's going to drive it up now, up for the shot. Yes, Wyatt Stevens coming in clutch.
Well, wasn't pretty, but man, it worked.
6-point Hillers lead, biggest lead of the night. Garvin feeds it over to O'Brien. Back to Garvin. He'll drive it in. And it's good. I think he got away with a bit of a travel there. Long pass to Pantera to the bucket. No good, but he draws contact. And that's going to be the fifth on Krumsick. That'll be the end of his evening. So Will Krumsick fouls out. Sam Pantera at the line, a chance to really put the Hillers in charge here. And he hits the first. Second of two, count it. A 6-point Hillers lead, 2.5 left to play. Stapleton. Driving in, up with the left hand, no good. But we do have a foul. Look at Sam Pantera with his third. First to 2 is good from Robertson. Second to 2. No good. A 5-point Hillers lead. Here comes Wyatt Stevens. Over to Hicks. Driving down, feeds the corner. Smith going to take it in, up with the underhand, draws the foul. I guess Sean Garvin with his second. Rowan Smith to the line, 4-2. Double bonus for both teams. First to 2 is good. Rowan Smith has been absolute money from the line. 5 for 5 from the strike. And he stays perfect. We'll have a timeout, 2:06 left to go. The Hillers up by 7. And what a fourth quarter it's been for Hopkinton, holding Westwood to just 2 field goals in the quarter.
Yeah, defense is looking solid. They're starting to hit the floor. That I love seeing them when they hit those free throws. Those it just boom adds up because make it up for all the threes they missed in the first half. There was a lot of 3 shot, but only 1 was made, I think, in the first half.
Yeah, and a large part of that is because of Rowan Smith, who's 6 for 6 from the line. Sam Pantera's 4 for 4 from the line. Overall, as a team, they're actually 11 for 12 from the line. Or make that 12 for 14 from the line.
14? That's good.
Pretty impressive.
Yes, it is.
Can't ask for much better than that.
I wonder what they practice on every day.
Don't forget the varsity game starting at about 6:30. They'll be celebrating their 5 seniors on the Hillers tonight. Less than 2 minutes left to go. Feed in by Garvin, driving down Robertson, and he draws contact.
Double bonus. Everybody's in the double bonus.
Yep. Here, Rowan Smith with his second. First to 2, no good. Second of 2, no.
Oh.
And it was collected by Hyman, but he just stepped out. Couldn't stay in. It's right on that corner and couldn't maintain the balance.
Not easy doing. You got someone on your back pushing you.
Certainly isn't. Callahan on the entry to Stapleton.
I don't know if that was so much 6 feet.
Over to Garvin. Up for the shot, no. Rebound Pantera. And he got wrapped up with Robertson for the jump ball call. It's in favor of Westwood. Sean Callahan on the entry. Over to Stapleton. Time not on the side of the Wolverines. And driving down Stapleton, and he's called for the double dribble. Hiller's ball.
Coach don't like that too much.
Well, Westwood's strategy has been drive down the lane, hope for the foul, and it looks like Desseroth drew some body contact. We'll get Sean Garvin with his third. And it's double bonus for the Hillers. Cole Dessenroth heading to the line. It's 1 for 2 from the strike. This is the first. On the second, no good. Bat in the air, handled by Pantera. And went off of Dessenrup back to Stevens. He'll feed it across. This should be Operation Burn Clock for the Hillers.
Very much.
Stevens driving down. Nice feed of Pantera, and Pantera finishes. What a beauty of a behind-the-back pass.
That's also going to be Operation Foul for the Wolverines.
And what do we have here? Looks like maybe some contact. We got Pantera with his fourth. First of 2 for Robertson, no good. This is the guy you want at the line if you're the Hillers. Second of 2. And he hits this one. 8-point game. Just under a minute left to play. Hyman. Stevens. Over to Smith. Driving in. Burning the clock. Throws it back. Hyman reels it in. And we have a timeout.
Yeah, he's got to. Guess Coach Cole's got to get him to.
I think he wants to talk things over.
Figure out how to slow it down against what the pressure that the Wolverines are putting on them.
48.3 seconds left to go. An 8-point Hillers lead. Things looking good, but not over yet. But it's been a good comeback effort by the Hillers in this one. Hopkinton trying to close it out off the timeout. Westwood likely going to try to foul right off the bat. And there it is.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of that for the next 46 game seconds. Well, I like to call 5 minutes of of game time.
If he hits these two, I mean,
yeah, they should let go.
You're up by 4 possessions. That pretty much puts the game away.
You would think.
This is the first, however. Zach Hyman at the line. He has 5 points so far tonight. No good. Collected in the corner by Hicks. Will they foul here?
It had paid off. That was great.
A nice move there by Hicks. And it looks like we have a Westwood foul on the entry. Or did we? Stevens into Carson. There's the foul. Or travel.
Travel. Yeah.
Well, if you're the Hillers, let Westwood work their way up the court and burn some time off the clock. Things are looking good for you right now. Westwood needs to shoot quick if they want any chance. Stapleton launches the 3. No good.
Let him have it. Let him have it.
And it was stripped out of the grasp of Quinn O'Brien, but there was contact.
Yeah, let him have it. There's times when you just got to let it go.
You get Stevens on that one. I agree.
Well, you know, Stevens, very aggressive athlete, just like his mother Michelle, three-sport athlete, and Hopkins High School Hall of Fame, Athletic Hall of Fame. About, I don't know if it was 6 or 8 years ago.
2nd and 2, count it. Here comes Wyatt Stevens. Weston Roth out to Stevens. No foul here, but it might be too little too late. And he hits the first. No good on the second.
Travel, wow.
And that's not what you want to do there. On the entry. And they're just going to let them hold it. They know their fate at this point. Out to Stevens, and that'll do it. And the Hillers are going to take the 50-43 victory. They outscore Westwood in the fourth quarter, 20-8. An impressive win by the Hillers. And Westwood, Mike, was ahead for most of the game, but the Hillers in the fourth quarter, they came alive.
Yeah, that was like a new team on the Hillers, especially making their shots from the field. I was very happy with it. The defense was solid all night long. All night long. They did a great job with Westwood. And Westwood, you know, no slouches either. They were a very, very good team. But Hopkins was able to shut them down in the fourth.
They certainly were, and it was a fun game to watch. Let's take a look at the scoring totals for Westwood. It was Will LaRose with 6, Thomas Stapleton with 5, Quinn O'Brien, your Westwood team leader, with 11, Sean Garvin with 7, Patrick Cassavant with 4, Sean Callahan with 1, Dylan Robertson with 6, and Will Krumsick with 3. For the Hillers, it was Zach Hyman with 5, Wyatt Stevens, your player of the game, with 13 points, Seamus Murphy with 1, Luke Badette with 2, Braden Hicks with 6, Cole Dessenroth with 1, Rowan Smith with 10, and 8 of those were in the fourth quarter. Sam Pantera with 12, he was big in the fourth quarter as well, as the Hopkinton Hillers take down Westwood in this JV matchup 50-43. For Mike Terosian, I'm Tom Nappy. We thank you for watching. The varsity game coming up next on HCAM. Take care, everybody.